We're going to move on to Wendy. Wendy is our second speaker of the day. So, geez, Wendy, I've known you out for a while. I don't even know how you started at Business at Breakfast, but yes, I do. Anne, I met you. No,
it was at Amanda's book launch.
Yeah, through Amanda's book launch. Yeah. So I met Amanda. So I met her back at probably my second Chamber of Commerce event. I become so well known at networking within a month of me starting networking that when I was at the Chamber of Commerce, this is 8 years ago, Amanda come in. Amanda's blind and she was an Arbonne consultant at the time. And I thought, how do you do that? And so those from the Chamber said, hey, Missy, can you take Amanda around and introduce her to people? And I was like, wow, I don't even know what to do. But Amanda and I have become friends very fast. And she launched a book a number of years ago and asked about venue spaces and then found one for her. And then I met Wendy there. And then from there, got Wendy out. So, all these little networks. It's very exciting. So, Wendy, come. So, your coach, John Maxwell?
Yes.
John Maxwell, yeah.
That's where I met Dorothy. We were both in John Maxwell. We were both part of the team that went to Paraguay to help transform that nation. And so we go back quite a way. And I actually ran courses for Amanda as a consultant. So that's when she became a leadership coach too and started to write the books. So
excellent. All right. Well, Wendy, you have the floor. Do you want me to time you?
Yes, give me the 8 minutes.
Okay.
I will just share my screen, just a minute. Okay, so you can see that. So, whoops, I'm in the wrong spot there. Let's go. Oh, I'm on 2 screens. I'm still getting this. Let's go. So I want to ask you to think about, are you living what's most important for you? Because what I have seen, and I suppose this is because I'm a little bit older, is I've seen too many people go for the career, go for one, or go for the family, and it's either or go for their health, and they lose one of them. So what I'm about is living for them all, getting your whole life in order. Yes, your business has got to be great, but your health's great, your family's great. So do you actually know what's most important for you and what's the balance that you need with that? So I want to ask you too, so it's not just yourself, it's at a home and it's at work, because the thing is that you cannot get that balance if you're just reacting in every situation. So the secret to having that alignment in life is living the important. Okay, just a minute. Why are you not moving? So the other thing to know is that it doesn't happen overnight. There's skills involved. There's all sorts of things. It's a journey. So I say I'm a life mastery coach, but that means I take you from your journey. One of the courses or one of the sections that I have in all my programs is getting to the starting line, because some of us don't even think we're at the starting line. It's all right to start the race when you're at the line, but what if you're not even there yet? So I've got one called Out of Darkness that Dorothy and I have worked together that actually helps people get to the starting line. And the other thing is even if you're going really well, because a lot of people I've worked with, they've had brilliant careers. They've done like Serena, you've done a complete change in the middle for whatever reason. And you've run into a brick wall and everything that was good suddenly seems to be in a heap. The clarity you had's gone and all of that. So what you need to do then is to be able to start again. So I serve people that want more joy and freedom and meaning. They've probably run into a brick wall or two, but they want more of those things and they want less stress and overwhelm. So they're going to tell you things like, as I said before, that, there's got to be more to life than this. I don't have time for my family. I'm just overwhelmed at work and I feel life's become a bit of a drudge. I look around me and I see people, the lights aren't on, nobody's home, and I'm beginning to feel like that myself. So they're the people that I serve. Or who I also serve are people that I know that I can help people. But I want balance. I've got the energy. I'm up there. I'm out of this baseline area, but now I want to learn how to lead leaders who can also help people get into that place.
Mhm.
So where you are to where you want to be, I call that the growth gap. And that growth gap, oops, it's changed. That's interesting. It starts with one thing, because success, like, the book that you mentioned, Misty, and a lot of those old classic Zig Ziglar and the early Do Help Yourself books, they talk about a success path. They talk about success leaving clues. And so I take those clues, and the first step on everything I do centers on knowing yourself. Once you know yourself, you can connect with others. Once you can connect with others, your next of your key skills that I include in my trainings is balance competing priorities. This is the one I see people have the most trouble with, because it's either one or the other. We're so much taught to focus, but then we drop our competing priorities and we can't balance them. So that's when our life gets into a tailspin. And then we navigate the unknown and the known. And then all of these come together to the last skill that I include in my programs, which is start anew. So all of us, no matter how good your situation is, the environment that we're in changes, and we have to be able to change with it. And sometimes when we're fine, we've built up everything, we've put all the energy in, it's going great. And when it falls apart, we're lost and we die on the inside. I've seen that too many times. So what I say is that life mastery, the final skill, is being able to get up again when you fall down, having learned the lessons, and start anew. And that doesn't matter whether you're 18 or 28 or 58 or 88. That's a skill. So I've put these skills, the first three, you know yourself, connect with others, and balance your competing priorities. They're all about self-leadership. When you start connecting with others, balancing priorities, and then learning to navigate, that's leadership. And when you've added the last skill, starting anew, that's when you've managed to get some mastery into your own life. So what have we got? What does this give you? What's in it for the people that work with me? Well, first of all, you can identity, purpose, meaning, fulfillment, and inspiration. Because once you've managed to go through the cycle and know that no matter what is thrown at you, you can start again, you can get up, you can learn. You are such an inspiration to other people, and you take people with you. And with what Serena's what I've found in my life, that knowing myself and knowing what's important has been the best control and best thing to manage my own finances and get ahead financially, is living the important. So, all of these. So once you start working on your identity and knowing yourself, when I help people with that, the freedom, you don't have to please others anymore. It's not just about being a people pleaser. That whole inside, that doesn't matter what happens and what people do that drains us. If you know yourself and you get to like yourself, then all of that imposter syndrome, it doesn't disappear, but boy, it gets under control. It goes a long way to get rid of that. So these are the different things. Confidence comes once you can balance some competing priorities, and it's not static. I don't know whether you've ever stood on an old seesaw and you've tried to hold it exactly still. So most people think of balance as that static, standing in the middle of the seesaw, and you're not allowed to get it up and down like that. But balance is actually active balance, and you'd appreciate this, Tess. It's core strength that allows you to wobble like that and to do that balance in all directions and keep that active balance. So whether you're at home, whether you're looking at work to live your things, that's what we're at. And there's 3 ways you can work with me. I work at any point. So some people work with me for specific skills at one of those points on their success path. And it might be just a small event. It might be one of my leaders or readers 4-week book things or something like that, they start at $99. I work with people across the whole of that journey as well. And that's my Be a Star program, helping you shine. And that's at $47 a month. I'll be launching that in December, but you can start now. And Legacy, I help equip people but underneath all this, if you don't know where to start, where do you start? Can you start with, Wendy? I believe there's one skill, a bit like Lord of the Rings. There's one ring that rules them all. There's one skill that rules them all. And that is to know yourself. That is to live the important. When you know yourself and you live your important, that's where you go. So today, if you want to take your first step with me or know somebody, between now and Christmas, I'm offering Knowing Me, Knowing You, which is 3 hours with me. It can be Facebook or online, face-to-face, or online. If you come and do that as part of a group, there'll be 2 dates prior to Christmas. It's $199. For an individual, if you want me just to work with you, and for that 3 hours, it's $299, and I have 5 positions for that. Or Patrick and I together do that for couples, because this is, if you get your family and you're living the important in your family, the energy level goes up, your life balance immediately goes up, because a lot of the stress comes from the different pulls of the fact that you're not working together and in line with those that you care about the most, and that causes incredible stress. So that's what I can do. I also, if you want to be part of the Be a Star, anybody that joins this by Monday next week will get a 10% off for life. So that's you have to message me on that one, and that's me, life mastery. So learning to live the important things in life.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you. Right, I'll get you to unshare the screen, and then
yes,
I can see everybody.
Just a minute. Stop share. I've also got a phone that's buzzing.
I actually thought it might have been a 10-minute. It might have been because the 8-minute alarm went off a little minute ago. I thought she must have set a 10-minute alarm. All right. Does anyone have any questions for Wendy?
Yeah, I'm going to be.
Sorry, I had an alarm going off out there. Any questions?
Yeah, I love the idea for couples and for families, because I think for COVID times, could be run off your feet, right? With all of these families that are crushed in together and suddenly have to do a crash course on living together 24/7, which for many of them is a shock, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a little blurb or a clip that we can share with others easily, or is there something about the program you have for couples?
With Patricia Falchetta, who is another member of Business at Breakfast, she and I have together done Recharge Family Joy, which is a 3-hour program, and we have the recordings that we have done on that, but we also run those individually, and we also do a family. One of the special programs I do is your family star map or your family joy map. So it's a 3-hour one-on-one. I have a little video on doing that map that I can put up.
Oh, hi, which is wonderful. It's wonderful that you got it. Being a simple soul, I'm looking for 3 lines in an email that I can flick to
3 lines, yeah. Recharge. Okay, so I can put that together, what we promoted. We've got a page for Recharge Family Joy. I will get the log on for that page and put it in there.
Yeah, what I'm looking for is something that I can share with someone.
Yep.
And then they can come, so they can find you, read about the program, and then decide for themselves. But I'd love to introduce you to a few people.
Yeah, yeah. No, families are huge, and they're important to me. So,
Wendy,
the program, go for it, Mike. Sorry.
I was going to say the same thing. I like, as you can imagine, running networking groups, 1,000 members sort of thing. I've seen a lot of presentations. I have to say that's probably one of the most professional presentations. Very simple and easy to understand. The graphics were amazing. Whoever did that. One of the things I love about networking is that whether or not I need the services, but who I can introduce you to. And so what's going through my mind is that was a great presentation. I can think of lots of people that I'd actually like to do that with. But is there something, a way that I can sort of say, hey, I want you to listen to this lady. I want you to connect with this lady. And so for me, it's always been, have a look at her Facebook page or have a look at her group as a taster. And then if you like what you see, I'll happily arrange an introduction. And I desperately, after wanting to see that presentation, going, man, I wish that I'd recorded that or something like that, because that's what I could have shared, because it's very, very simple and easy to understand. And my first thought was too, couples going through stuff at the moment because of COVID and finances. And I'm sort of going, you know what, when I took a whole COVID off and I decided to just ring 50 people a week, and no links or anything like that, just sort of saying, hey, we haven't spoken in a while, just want to check on how are you and how's your business. As a consequence, I ended up speaking to lots of people, lots of pluses, but also lots of people that are really not doing so well. And it's those people right now that I think, wow, that's so cheap. I'd love to introduce you, but I don't have I don't know you well enough yet, and I don't know how to do it. And so I'm sort of saying the best way for me to do it is to sort of say, go to this woman's page. So can you help me there too?
The pages that I have, I suppose for me, COVID has been a little bit of a shift. Mm-hmm. I've done a lot of work in families in the past. Moving back into families has been the shift that's particularly come with COVID. And it's been that connection and that link. So I have a web page. I'm Equipped for Success, www.equipped4 with the number 4. My Wendy.Marman webpage is in process. It will be complete in about 2 weeks. I have got most of the front page done, but it was only as part of getting my web page and seeking that clarity that I suddenly realized that what makes me different is that I focus on the important. That's the key. And it took me about 2.5 years to get there. So I did all that graphic. I did all that yesterday myself, because I'd finally got clarity that what I help people do is walk the important, and that's how they navigate. And so all the people that are in my current groups and things, while I have touched on that, it hasn't been that clear. So I also have on Facebook, you can find me, I'm Wendy Marman, Life Mastery Coach. So I can get my Facebook page link, perhaps. And
Glenn, this is recorded, so I can just hook you up with David and he'll chop out Wendy's thing and can send it to you.
Perfect. Like when I listen to Serena, I've seen some of the chats and sort of saying, hey, love your podcast. That'll be one of the first things that I do, because you can hear someone, I guess 54 years of being on the planet, you start to want to look and find other evidence so that you can go, okay, I heard them. This is great too. And then you start falling in love with someone before you start working with them or whatever. I used to just jump in, and I made some mistakes doing that. And so I'm always looking for additional evidence. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that encouragement. I will put, I'll put the other this website has got more of the background stuff. That's the Equipped for Success one. And I still do that. I've done business. I do the John Maxwell Leadership Game, and Dorothy and I have worked to help prevent suicide. I've sat on some boards and things. So, I mean, I'm in my 60s. I've got 4 grown kids and almost 6 grandkids. So I'm looking to, I suppose, and I founded the Girls Leadership Network here in Canberra. So to me, these are the other things that I want to pass on, and I'd love to have a chat sometime. So, yeah.
But here's a little known secret of Wendy's. She's a pilot.
Oh, well, I was a pilot.
Yeah, well, just because you know how to fly and haven't done it for a while, I'm sure that doesn't delete you from the skills.
If the hostess comes and says the pilot's dead, Wendy, you're the person we're rushing up the front of the plane.
The fact that it's got
no one else getting us off the island, it's you.
Correct.
That's right. So actually my tagline for ages, and what I love to do after I visit NASA, is I help people fly with the eagles, touch the moon and reach for the stars. I just love people to shine, because some people only want to fly with eagles. Some people want to go further and touch the moon, and some people want to reach for the stars. You choose your level. You do your own push-ups, but I can give you the success clues. So.
Well, I think we've all flown with enough galahs in our time. So,
yeah. No, flying with the glass.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right. So I'm going to move